Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Anthony Cordova, Tony C., the man about love. The show will be starting in just a few moments. Just got to take care of a few things and we will get this show on the road. Now, if you're listening to this show in replay, I'm happy you're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So good to know you're here with us. So, if you are listening to this in replay, you can fast forward past this portion and just get right into the show, which would be pretty cool. So, that's something you can do. If you're new to Fireside, you can hit your react button and choose an emoji and send that reaction by hitting the send button. Also, there's a new feature here, and it looks like if you want to text me or send me a message, you should be able to hit that Q&A button, and it should get to me or my producer or both. Again, the show will be starting in just a few moments. Hello, really, Charlie. The show will be starting in just a few moments, so please stand by. Ooh, look, it's time to start the show. There was something going on here, and I was trying to fix that, but I hope things work all right. Okay. Hope we don't have any issues with video. If we do, please let me know. Okay. And here we go. Welcome to Poetic People Fighting Racism, Double PFR. I'm your host, Anthony Cordova, Tony C., the man about love. I'm also the co-host of I'm Right, where I have the privilege to be in a show with my beautiful, with my intelligent, with my incredibly gifted wife, Jill Cox Cordova, right here on Fireside. Here at Double PFR, we discuss racism and the caste system in the United States of America through poetry, through art, through music, using the voices of our souls, using the strength of our ancestors to heal the fractured country we live in and die in. Here at Double PFR, all souls are welcome. All people are welcome. Welcome to discuss the racism we live in. Come on in. We'll put our arms around you, providing a safe place for you, a home to protect you, a place where you're surrounded by hope, where you're surrounded by compassion, where you're surrounded by empathy, forgiveness, and love. Surrounded by love, surrounded by so much love. I'd love for you to come in with me, to stand by me, to see what we can do to change this country, to change the people that live in this country. I welcome you to Double PFR with love, with so much love. Double PFR, Double PFR. All right, here we are. That intro is done. And welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, can anyone give me a some applause to make sure you can hear me all right and the audio isn't acting funny? Okay, thank you very much. Well, we're at the next episode. This is episode 6. And the question is, what is your place in America? What's your place in America? this is what we want to figure out. I'm going to do a poem tonight that's called Caste. It's all about the caste system in the United States. But before I get to that, I wanted to talk about Fireside. Now with Fireside, well, let's go back to my intro. So in my intro, I talk about compassion and love and a safe place. Now, I've worked for myself for at least 40 years. And in those 40 years, there's only been one time where a company I was doing business with actually supported me and helped me grow. In 40 years, just one time. And this is what I love about Fireside. Fireside really really supports the creators. They don't have to. They actually go out of their way to support us, to help us succeed. They don't do it by giving us money, but they give us knowledge and they give us support. Now, Fallon is the creator of this app, and the amount of attention that she put into this app to provide, like in my intro, a safe place for us to be, where we can do what we do. So it doesn't matter whether our vodcast is connected to our business. Fireside helps with that. It doesn't matter if you just like vodcasting or you had a podcast before and you're passionate about what you do. They still support you. They give you a chance. The way creators are vetted on Fireside, no one else is doing that. This helps provide us a safe place to do what we do. And this is something that's really important because, like I told you, in 40 years, there's only been one other company that actually supported me in my business to actually try to help me. And now there's two, which is Fireside. Now, I'm not saying that our vodcasts are our business, but it is, even if we're not making any money, generating any money from it at this time. And that's actually not my ultimate excuse me, to create income. In my case, it's mostly about getting a message out and providing something positive and a place for us to learn. So that's what it is for me. But being that I've worked for myself most of my life, I approach many things as if it was a business. So with Fireside, I look at it that way also. And I look at who am I doing business with. Now, in this case, with Fireside and Fallon, you really have to look into how much thought she put into creating this app. The things that she put into this app as she created it, and the precautions, the safeties that she put in for us. When creators are vetted, we know, and Fireside knows, and I don't want to leave out all the employees at Fireside also. They do a fabulous job, and they go beyond what they need to do for us. But providing a safe place on Fireside, there's many of us that have content that if we were on any other platform, we would get all types of negative things coming towards us. And I'm not saying that's never going to happen on Fireside. It may happen, but it hasn't happened yet, which is great. It gives us a chance to do what we need to do, to say what we need to say, to bring the content to the world, actually, um, that we bring. So I really do want all the creators to know what a great place Fireside is. Fireside doesn't owe us anything. They don't have to go out of their way. In the business world, no one goes out of their way to help you, but Fireside does. And all you have to do is ask or listen. If they volunteer some information, some helpful information for you. Now, the platform is growing immensely, and especially since they implemented general admission, um, which is a big help to all of us. So I do want to thank all the general admission listeners and viewers that are here. But again, I just want to thank Fireside. I want to thank Fallon. Uh, I want to thank Mark Cuban for providing the finances for this app. Um, it's something amazing. You know, he didn't have to invest in it either, and he's a businessman. But many businesses, large business, they don't want to invest in a platform like this that's actually creating good stuff and bringing good people to the platform. So it's just a thank you, Fireside. Thank you, Fallon. Thank you to all the employees at Fireside. Thank you to the creators for we support each other. Thank you for that. Thank you, General Admission, and just thank you all of the viewers that come to Fireside to find the content you're looking for. So just a lot of thank yous. All right. That is out of the way. So
Sweetheart,
what yes.
before you move on, I just want to say that Really Charlie wrote a comment when you were talking about business,
Okay.
and he wrote that your name is your business.
This is true. And a lot of people should look at that way. Look at it that way because you represent yourself. You know, if you're a sole proprietor, doesn't matter whether you're the CEO of a big company. That's the way you should think about it. So you're absolutely correct. Really, Charlie. Well, thank you for that. Is there anything else we have, Jill?
That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay. So before I get into this poem, this is my cast poem, I believe, this evening. Let's check. Yes. So before I get into that, I want to talk about cast a little bit first, and that we truly do have, ooh, excuse me, we truly do have a caste system here. And most people know the caste system that's in place in India. We know about that. Most people don't know about the caste system in the United States. But there's also was another big caste system, and that was run by the Third Reich, the Nazis. So just eliminating Jewish people because the Nazis felt they were inferior. They wanted world domination, so they needed to start getting rid of Jews. And then after the Jews, it would have been black people. Then after the black people, it would have been something else. So that's how it works. Now, in this country, we're already under a caste system. And this country does a real good job of keeping us from knowing this and understanding this. But this is what I have to say. If you are black, brown, Korean, or Jewish, this affects you. You are in this caste system. You are seen as less than. If you are Chinese, Japanese, Hispanic, if you are Middle Eastern, Native Hawaii, if you are Vietnamese, this affects you. You are a part of the caste system. This affects you because you are treated differently because of how you look or how you speak. If you are indigenous to this country, if you are Native American or Alaskan Native, you feel the effects of the caste system. It is not just racism. It is the caste system which keeps all of these things in place. The class system that rates us on different levels to see how good we are, what we're worth, what our worth is to this country. If you are Mexican or Brazilian or Filipino, if you are Zimbabwean, if you are Nigerian, if you are Ethiopian, you come to this country, you're in the caste system. You will be treated just like the rest of us, just like the rest of us. And it happens every day, and we know it every day. If you are Asian, and mixed with any other race, I mean, you're done. You're done. If you are LGBTQ, doesn't matter what color you are, whether you're man or woman, if you're any part of LGBTQ, you're seen as less than by this country, by the blue and white eyes. And you know what I call the blue and white eyes, some of the people with white skin that believe their European blood makes them pure blue blood, better and supreme than anyone with color in their skin. They believe the darker a person's skin, the more they become less than. So that's the blue and white eyes. Now check this out though. If you are a black woman or an Hispanic woman or an Asian woman, they really exploit you. I mean, they really, really come at you to exploit you, to bring you down. And we have to know this. Now, check this out. If you are a Caucasian woman in this country, if you are a white woman in this country, they even want to bring you down. And this is what abortion rights are about right now. And not wanting a woman to be able to choose what they do with their body. Now, whether abortion is right or wrong, it's not up to me. That's a woman's choice. That's not my choice. It's a woman's choice. But white women, if you don't do what the blue and white eyes say, and when I say that, you also know I'm talking about powerful white men in this country. If you don't do what they say, they put you right with us. So you are also a victim of the caste system. Now, if you are a black man in this country, a man born black in this country, it's like we're just done for. We're just done for. Now, even though they try to prevent us from getting an education, it doesn't matter how smart we are. It doesn't matter how educated we are. Because in their minds, they see us as a threat. And what do you do in war? What do you do when you want to keep someone down? You destroy them. You destroy them. And What's worse is they come at black men when they're still children in school. We still have white teachers that often do things to make us feel like less than, like we don't have the same value that they do. So the caste system really, really does affect most of the people in this country. Not some of the people. Most of the people in this country are affected by the caste system. And this is why we have to learn to pull together and learn to love each other and work together. Because they're out to destroy us all. Really, and it's messed up. All right. So with that, I'm going to start. Yes?
When you were talking about Jewish people, really, Charlie wrote, Jewish people were only 0.88% of the German population during World War II.
That is true. And that's still too many Jews were killed just for being Jews. It's too many. It's a lot less than the black people in this country. But that's not the point. We're not in a competition to see who was exploited the worst, who was annihilated, who suffered from the atrocities in Germany, the atrocities in this country. We have to learn to get past that, because something else they do in the caste system is they get us to turn against each other, to compete against each other. That's all part of the plan. If they can keep us fighting with each other, then we won't have time to fight with them. We won't. Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. Okay. Now, and thank you for that comment. Really, Charlie, I appreciate it. You're the man.
He also said division.
Yes, division. Yes, that is exactly what I said. They divide us. Divide and conquer. Okay, I am going to get into this poem now. Are you ready? Are you ready, Jill?
Ready.
All right, well, let's get to it. We're going to cue the music and get into it. It's an elaborate system the blue and white eyes created, wherein we are outcast, cast out, kept out, knocked down, kicked around, messed on, stepped on, and ground down. For the melanin in our skin, for the darkness of our skin, less than just living and dying. They see us born alone, then living, then dying as less than. They don't see our loving mothers or our protective fathers. They don't see our strong black sisters or our strong black brothers. They don't see our intelligence or our fearlessness or our homelessness. They don't see our compassion for all of mankind, whoever they are. They don't see a black life, a black man, a black woman, a child. They only see less than, not worth living. They're lying to themselves and to every portion of this country by seeing us as the lowest of the low, below the lowest rung, seeing us only as less than, just living and dying, stealing and lying, and Black Lives Matter, less, and less than in their system of caste, hierarchy, and class controlled by them, making us play the role of the less than in their system of caste and ass kissing, their system of American systemic racism, their system that keeps us drowning in America's racial septic system, their system designed to keep us below mankind, below the human race, below the poverty race. They're trying to make a case that we are lazy and worthless and won't take care of ourselves without the care of our false white saviors. The blue and white eyes that control our lives. It was by design. The United States was created to keep black lives ground down, oppressed, depressed, abused, and used like tools to exploit black lives in any way they see fit. In any way they see fit. All right, that's it. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Now I see some people in the audience. I see Frankie J, Really Charlie. I see Tammy, one of my favorites. Oh, I see me. And who else do I see? That's about it.
Me?
And I see Jill, my producer, which is excellent. So
Frankie J said, "Love it, brother," after your poem, and he's
thank
now
you.
on the stage.
Oh, Frankie J, the man. How are you?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing wonderful. Just filling up my schedule here for the next 2 months for my shows, and I got some great guests lined up. But I just
Excellent.
wanted to, in person, tell you that was great.
Well, thank you. I
That was
really
great,
do
man.
appreciate it. Do you have any questions or comments about the caste system in the United States?
I'd rather just listen to you because I love everything that you're saying, and I wouldn't want to interrupt that. I just wanted to, like I said, just come up and tell you how great what you just said was. It resonated.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Frankie J. I really do appreciate that, and I do always want to let you know that this show is a safe place where we can have discussions about race in America and the caste
Oh,
system or anything else. So it really, truly is a
yeah.
safe place. So
I can say one thing, and I mentioned this on my last show. I was lucky enough to have Monica Morton
yes,
on, and
and I heard
I
that show, by the way. I
oh,
listened.
did
I
you? So
listened to
you
that on Thursday, I think.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Hopefully you liked it. I
yeah, it was a good show. It was a good
Oh,
show.
thank you.
Yeah.
I am where I had mentioned that I talked to one of my very, very great friends of color, and when he took the time to explain certain things to me, I got it, and I get it now, and I understand exactly what's transpiring with all of that. So I'm all in on things becoming right for everybody. So I respect everything you're doing and a lot of other people. So I'm one of your big supporters. I love what you do. I love when you're on the other show, and I just wanted to let you know how I felt.
All right. Thank you so
So
much.
thanks for
Thank you
having
so
me.
much for all the
I'll
kind
jump down.
words. All right. Thanks again. Ed, I see we have Debbie in the audience, and I'm not going to ask you to come up unless you want to. But glad to see you here, Debbie. I don't think I've met you before, but welcome. And I'm Anthony Cordova, Tony C., the man about love, because I believe that we all need to learn to love each other. And that's kind of the only way we're going to heal this country. So that's how I feel about that, Debbie, if you didn't know. most people on Fireside know I'm about that, but that's what I do. So Jill, do we have any other questions or anything? If not, then I'm going to start. I'm going to go into the poem and talk about different parts of the poem.
Go for the poem.
It's a go for the poem. And my wonderful producer Jill, I just want to let you know I am looking at the clock.
What?
I am looking at the clock.
I
My shows
believe in
always
miracles.
the shows always seem to go long because I get carried away and I don't look at the clock. But we're at the 28-minute mark, so I'm right on it. Okay. So a lot of the stuff about this poem, some of the stuff not only I talked about, before I did the poem. So let's see. I'm going to jump to the second stanza where it says, "They see us born alone, then living, then dying as less than." So that line, you can interpret it any way you wish. And actually, I love to hear what someone else feels about a certain line of my poem. But I wrote it, and this is my thought when I wrote this line. So they see us born alone. So when a Black woman gives birth to a child in the hospital, now some people may not believe this, and I'm not saying this is 100% of the time, but because of the caste system in this country, systemic racism that's ingrained in all of us. So certain, not all Caucasian people, but some Caucasian people automatically see us as less than. So when our mothers are given birth in the hospital, they see our mothers as less than. And then we come out of our mothers, we're already seen as less than. So because of the color of our skin, because the Caucasian people of this country enslaved us, enslaved our ancestors, part of their thought process is to see us as less than from the day we're born. From the day we're born. Now we go on through our lives and we believe we're living our best life or not, but we're just trying to go through our lives. But they don't care. Because from the moment we were born, we were seen as less than through their eyes. And then we may get killed by a cop for just a normal traffic stop. We may get killed because of the neighborhoods we live in that are behind red lines. And red lines, if people don't know, I know most people in this audience do know, but for other people, red lines were drawn around communities where real estate agents and government agencies decided this is where the Black people are going to live. So the real estate is devalued. Our schools are not as good. So communities that aren't supported by government and positive people. So we end up living in places where it's horrible. And because of that, we may die. So we go through those things. So when I'm talking about being, they see us born alone, we are. We have our families, but they see our families as less than also. So that's how I feel about that line.
Frankie
So let's
J is
find.
on the stage again.
Oh, hey, Frankie J.
I wanted to add to that and say this. I have been blessed. The area I live in, it's a suburb of Buffalo, New York. It's called Amherst, New York,
Yeah,
and
I
for a
I
long
know where it is. I've
oh
been there.
oh awesome. I live about a block away from Duff's,
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
and I smell the wings every day. It's ridiculous. But
Excellent.
I do want to say this. I'm blessed in this way. I grew up in a very diverse area. So race has never been an issue. I mean the whole area I live in, probably a good 60-mile radius, there is people of all ethnicities and backgrounds living in the same neighborhoods. So I was fortunate to grow up where that did not exist. And when I started to really deep dive into it was when I started to see the problems outside of my area, and it disturbed me. So I just wanted to share that there are, there are areas where it is very diverse and very it's not like that of
Well,
other cities, and
well,
there is no red line, if you will.
Frankie, and I do know there's spots like that, and I actually grew up in New York also,
Okay.
downstate in Long Island,
Okay.
and I do miss the diversity of people.
Yeah,
Okay,
I get
I
it.
had I had Italian friends, I had Jewish friends,
Hmm.
I had all types of friends, right? But I lived in a black neighborhood. Okay,
Okay. Hmm.
now this is the challenge I have for you.
Okay.
So find someone in your neighborhood that's
Okay.
of a different ethnicity, someone you know. You may have known them for years.
Okay.
Find them you really need to ask them. Tell them you listen to this show and
Okay.
ask them whether things are any different for them in this country than it is for you in this country.
Okay. I'll
but
take the
but put it
challenge
but
and
put it yeah put it that way, and I'd love to hear what
yeah.
you find out, because here's the deal. If you're from another country, if you're another ethnicity, if you're a minority, any minority
Mhm.
in this country, you're treated differently. Now,
And
in your
I
neighborhood,
absolutely believe that.
yeah, so in your neighborhood, it's good, yeah, we all get along and all of that.
Yeah.
But it's almost unspoken, and this is what I believe that all of us need to start to speak about, because they experience racism and discrimination every day in
I know.
ways
I
that
know.
you probably could not imagine, but they don't speak about it
I know. And
because
it breaks my
it's
heart, really.
yeah, it's a lot of pressure. It's a
Hmm.
lot of pressure to have to live that way. So if your perception is that everything is great, we
Well,
this is
I don't mean
what
everything. I just
not
mean
everything
my
is great,
particular
but in
neighborhood.
your little neighborhood, we
Right.
all get along fine,
Right.
right?
Okay.
But part of that is that the people that are minorities in your neighborhood don't want to shake the boat.
You know what? That's a
Everything is
great
going
point.
okay.
That's a great
Everything is
point.
going okay. We don't have any problems.
Hmm.
We're not going to say much.
Let me dive into that for you. I promise I will. And I will get back to you on that because that's a great point. And I'm interested to know. I just want to
Yeah.
know. I want to
Yeah.
be educated with this and understand more and more. I'm a sponge. I'm certain the
Yeah.
little bit you know about me and the shows I've done. I'm a sponge. I like to know. I want to learn, and I want to, you know, live appropriately in the times. I don't
Yeah,
want,
yeah.
you
And
know,
and,
so,
and Frankie, that's what this show is all about. Now,
okay.
if the next time you and I talk, you say, "Hey, I did do that,"
Mhm.
and they said everything is fine. Okay, this is good. But you still, you've had those conversations. And that conversation may bring you closer to your neighbor, even
Yeah,
closer than you were before.
sure.
Yeah.
I will do that for you. I will deep
Thank
dive,
you.
and I will do my best to get you some intel and insight, because I'm all about peace all the way around, and I will do that for you. That's a great idea, and I just wanted to share that with you. But I won't
Yeah.
hijack your show anymore. I'll jump down and listen. Thanks.
All
I
right.
appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you, Frankie. Okay, that was Frankie J, and everybody here knows Frankie J has his own show. So
I
and
have
if you don't, just check him out. He's all right. Yes,
I
Jill?
have I have two things to tell you.
Yes.
Number one, really, Charlie said it's his daughter's birthday, and he had actually stepped away to listen to your from her party
Oh,
to listen to your show, but he was
yeah.
summoned back to the party, so he says he'll
Okay.
catch the rest on the replay.
All right. Thank
Um,
you, Charlie. I appreciate that.
and then the second thing I wanted to say was thank you, Frankie J, for your willingness to be educated. As Tony said, um, this show is all about open conversation and learning from each other. Um, Unlike the two of you, I grew up in a national park, and if tourists took a wrong turn, they found us, kids, playing in the streets or taking walks. Or we had a community basketball goal. We had everything that many neighborhoods have today, but it was in a national park. And tourists would always, from all over the world, would always want to take pictures of us. And when I was a child, I thought that was because they couldn't believe that people can actually live in a national park. But as I got older, and now that I'm an adult, um, I look back on some of those conversations, and they would say things like, like maybe maybe two of my neighbors were black, so they would assume that we were all brothers and sisters.
Hmm.
Just because we were all black, we looked nothing like each other, not even a little bit. But they just assumed that. But really, they wanted to take pictures to many of them because um, they couldn't believe black people were in a national park.
Hmm.
That whole stereotype that black people can't do nature, in this country. And then as I
Yeah.
got older, my first jobs were at other tourist attractions in the area, and people would always, look at me and they were like, "Where are you from?" "Oh, I lived,
Jill? No, this is not good. My producer's audio went out. This is not good. This is not good at all. So I guess I will have to continue in the meantime because she doesn't know. I don't think she knows her audio's gone. Oh, well, she'll be around. I know she's still alive, which is good. Okay. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for Jill to come back, I will go down to another, and we're into 41 minutes into the show. I'm going to try to close it out no later than 1 hour, but maybe sooner than that. Um, so let's jump down. So the next line under that was they don't see our loving mothers. That goes back to or our protective fathers. Um, a lot of people just don't see us as regular human beings. They think we're something else. I don't know what, but they don't see anything else. I have another line here is they don't see our intelligence or our fearlessness or our homelessness. Now, that line really gets me, and I think I talked about this in another show earlier this week with someone. But if any of you remember the Steve Harvey show, and on this particular episode of the Steve Harvey show, there was a black homeless man that saw a Caucasian man fall down clutching his chest. So he went over to the man, and the man was having a heart attack. And the black homeless man, performed CPR on him and saved his life. So when the paramedics got there, they told the man, hey, if he hadn't come up, you would be dead right now. He saved your life. He saved your life. So, guy said, oh, well, thank you. So he goes home, after he gets out of the hospital and all that, and he tells his wife, hey, this homeless guy saved my life. We should do something, to pay back, to give back. She's like, yeah, okay, that'd be a good idea. So what they decided to do, and they announced this on the Steve Harvey show. So they brought the homeless guy there, and the guy was there with his family, the white guy that, had the heart attack. And they said, we're donating, and I think it was like $20,000. It might have been more, might have been $50,000, but that really doesn't matter in this story. We're donating, we are so grateful for that black homeless man to have saved my life. We're going to donate $20,000. Now I'm thinking they're going to give the $20,000 to the homeless man because he's homeless. I figured, at least he could get an apartment. He'll have a place to live, for a while. Maybe then he can get if he's looking for a steady job. Heck, it doesn't matter. But I figured they'd use the money to put a roof over his head. But no, they decided to donate the money to a shelter that he would sometimes stay at. So here's a man that saved his life, but because he is black, they don't trust him enough to give him money so he can get an apartment, so he can pull himself up. Instead, they want to give it to a shelter. And they thought that was okay. And everybody was blindsided. You could see it on Steve Harvey's face. You could see it on the homeless man's face. Every face except the man and his family, the white family. Less than. Even though the black man saved his life, the black man is still less than. And see, that's where you get into systemic racism. It is ingrained in so many people in this country. A lot of us don't even know how deep it runs. When a black person has to decide whether they're going to go to an event or not because of the amount of white people that are going to be there, that's systemic. We have to think that way. It's so deep ingrained. We have to think that way. And it's not right. It shouldn't be happening. And the only way we're going to change this is by beginning to love each other and have these conversations that we are having right now. Right now. Okay. I'm going to move on again. Let's see what I got. Now, the next line after that was, they don't see our compassion for all of mankind, whoever they are. Now, some people might say, this isn't true. Black people don't have compassion for anybody. They're only thinking about themselves. But you know, that's not true. In our communities, if we see one of us that needs some help, that gets in a bind, it could be a total stranger, chances are we're going to try to help. But it doesn't even have to be in our neighborhood. We could be out and about on the street and we see something go wrong. The first thing we want to do is help them. But then we have to think about it. Should I help them? It might end up bad for me if I help them. But Black people in America are compassionate people. We're not the way they make us seem. I have another poem, and one of the lines is I am angry, but I do not hate. I'm nobody and somebody. I'm something and nothing. I am here and not. And we do get angry. We get angry because of the situations we live in. But we just want to be people, treated like people, like everyone else. So when I say I'm nobody and somebody, I'm something and nothing, I'm here and not. These are all the things I am. These are all the things I have to be to survive in this country. So we are compassionate people. But we have to be careful on how we show that compassion. You know, back in the day, back during Jim Crow times and before that, if a young Black boy, doesn't matter whether it's a young Black boy or Black man, doesn't matter. If he went to the store and maybe the store clerk had a nice dress, and maybe he's just being nice. He says, that's a really nice dress you have on. That would probably get him lynched. He's just trying to be a nice person. Yeah, that's a nice dress. But he could get lynched for it. Really? And they want us to forget this? Oh no. Oh no. So it doesn't mean I hate. It means I'm angry. But I do not hate. This stuff just gets to me. So, next couple of lines down here. I'm going to read these few lines. They're lying to themselves and every portion of this country by seeing us as the lowest of the low, below the lowest rung. Seeing us only as less than, living and dying, stealing and lying, and Black lives matter, less, and less than in their system of caste, hierarchy, and class controlled by them. Now, when I talk about that, they see us on the lowest rung. So, like if you're looking at a ladder, it's the first rung, second rung, third rung. Well, we're on the lowest rung. That's the way they see us. They see us as, just less than, living and dying, stealing and lying. I'm in my 60s and I still get accused of trying to steal something from a store. This has been happening all my life. I figured at my age, this would not happen anymore. But it still happens. I sometimes still get followed around a store. They don't know who I am. I didn't give them any indication that I'm going to steal something. But yet, that's how they look at me. That's how they look at me. I was in another show some months back, and it was on this topic. And I brought up what we still have to do. Like when I buy something in the gas station or convenience store, or whatever little place it is. Even if it's a small item, cup of coffee. I may buy a cup of coffee. I make sure I have the receipt. And I have the receipt wrapped around my coffee when I go out the door. Just in case somebody accuses me of stealing that coffee. And I'm like this because it happened all through my life as a child. It happened when I was a teenager. It happened when I was in my 20s, my 30s, my 40s. And it still happens from time to time. So this is our life. This is our life. It's 2022. And most of us still live this way. It doesn't matter how much money we have, how educated we are. It doesn't matter what type of house we live in or what type of car we drive. We're still singled out. Specifically for the color of our skin. Specifically. If we haven't done anything specifically. Jill and I live a very modest life. A simple home. It's in just the regular middle class neighborhood. And we don't have any expensive cars. All our cars are old. Now, some people might say, well, you have several cars. All our cars are like over 20 years old. But one of them is really nice. It's a really nice sports car. When I drive that sports car, I make sure I'm dressed right. Because if a cop sees me driving that car and I'm not dressed properly, the question is, what is he doing driving that car? And I will get pulled over. A white person can get in any type of car they want in this country and dress any way they want. And they won't get pulled over unless they've done something wrong. But I can get pulled over in our own car because I'm not dressed nice enough. It's insane. It's insane. And I seen Sonia came to the audience. Hi, Sonia. It's good to see you. I saw the replay of the Enlightenment show. Was it Enlightenment? But the show with Rod in it and you. And anyway, I know I'm going off topic, but I loved that show, and it was all about love and how we love, because that is also what I talk about. I call myself, Anthony Cordova Tony C, the man about love, because I truly believe that love truly is the answer. So easy, so hard, but that's the answer. If we begin to treat everybody like brothers and sisters and long lost cousins, and learn to love each other, everything else becomes very easy. Would you try to truly kill your brother? Well, maybe Cain and Abel, but in general, most people are not going to try to kill their brother. They're not going to try to harm their family member that they love. They're not going to do it. So we have to learn to love each other. It is so important. So, Sonia, if you have a minute, could you come to the stage and tell the audience about your show? No pressure. You might be doing something else, and you don't have to go to video. You could just do audio if you want, but if not, it's okay, because actually it's almost time for me to close this show. Oh, there she is. Hello, Sonia.
Good evening. I don't know
Good
what part of
evening.
the country you're from, but
Yes, it's so good to hear your voice.
oh, thank you. You too. I just thought I'd pop in. Yeah, you know how Saturday night is.
Yeah, we're the people that got nothing else to do on Saturday night.
Well, maybe later on. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, yes. When I decided to do this show, my wife Jill, she's the producer tonight, and she said, "Are you sure you want to do it on Saturday night? Everybody's out, everybody's partying." I said, "No, everybody is not out, and everybody's not partying. There's somebody that wants to watch something on a Saturday night."
Yes.
So yeah, so thanks. So can you tell the audience about the show you were in, what it was called, and what you all believe in?
Yeah, so our latest show, the episode 3, was about love, the intelligence within, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
because, we always say, yeah, I mean, uh, look at everything, right, is steering us in terms of love, right? There is that almost like an invisible thing that really tunes in with us, right? It's just beyond when you're in that vibration, that beautiful vibration that we kind of like how we speak to each other, how we include each other, right? And
That's right.
and that's what our love means, right? And in many ways, our attempt to include everyone into our lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, and with that, it's just everybody understands love in many forms, right? And
Yes. But some people don't understand love. How,
yeah,
how
I
do we how
mean,
do we handle that?
yeah, I mean, well, us being any contact with people like us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they will feel that love. That is not so much an issue. It's just our way of actions, our way of talking, and our way of being. So, you can't help but be like that, right? So, everyone's gonna be affected in some form, right?
Yeah,
As you
yeah,
know.
because really it is action.
Mhm.
My wife and I have been on Fireside for some time, and I did see you when you popped in our show for a little bit on Wednesday. I was going to talk to you, but you were gone. You were gone. You left, but it's okay. I'm not holding it against you. But that show is called "I'm Right, I'm Right." But what we try to always show is joy
Mhm.
and love. by the way we speak to each other, by the things we do, by the way we speak to our audience members. I always want to show love and kindness and laughter and just to show that we can all be one. I write about being one. So
Definitely.
we're all separate, but yet we are all one.
Yes, one energy, right?
That's correct. That is absolutely correct. Oh wow. Ooh, well, I am so glad, Sonia, you came up to your stage, and I am going to try to be in the audience of your next show. I'd
Yeah,
love to be there, because I watched it in replay. But
we
the
are
next
gonna
time
have so
I'm going to try to be there live. And I'm sure my producer, Jill, is telling me I'm going long because this is at the 1 hour and 3 minute mark.
sorry, Jill, that was my
Yeah,
fault.
yeah. Thanks.
No,
Yeah,
that's
be in my
okay.
corner.
I enjoyed listening to you, Sonia. So that's
Yeah,
perfectly fine.
great.
Oh,
We are
wow.
having like an extension of that show on the 24th, so it's gonna go even deeper because we haven't
Excellent.
looked at the acronym for what it was, right? Because we
Right.
were having so much fun, we forget to
Yeah.
go into, and so it'll be another show on the 24th. But our next one coming up on the 10th of November because we're bi-weekly, right? So
Oh, yeah. And this show is bi-weekly also.
yeah,
So I got the 10th and 24th. Got them marked.
yeah, we'll send it
Great.
out invitation soon. I usually
Okay.
host it on that same day, but we had a little last minute changes, and so we have to hold out a little bit. So, but it's
Okay.
gonna be interesting for sure.
Okay. Great. I am looking forward to it. Woohoo!
Okay.
Excellent.
And I
All
enjoy
right.
your
Well,
both shows too. So sorry. Go ahead.
okay. Thank you. All right. My producer, Jill, I'm going to start closing out the show.
Well,
If
there's
it's,
two things that you need to do before, or I need to say before you do.
yes.
First of all, Sonia, I'm so glad that you spoke about your show, and I too will try to tune in live for it.
Yay.
Um, and then you have a written comment, Tony, from Frankie J. When you were talking about, well, when I said that people are partying on Saturday nights, he wrote, October 26th was 8 years of sobriety from alcohol for him. So he doesn't party
Yay.
anymore.
All right.
Congratulations, Frankie. Okay.
Excellent.
And there are different ways to party, though. I will say that. You don't have to have alcohol to party. And
That
then
is
the second
true.
thing, Tony, I would like you to do is tell everyone what your next show will be about before you close out.
How you know I wasn't just going to do that?
I don't know that you weren't
I
going to.
might have been just getting ready to do that, but
You
I didn't
might have
write all.
been.
I didn't write all of that down, so I'm gonna have to do it from memory or
Oh,
from the calendar. So November 20, no, November 12th, I believe it is. Yeah. November 12th, I will have a guest, and her name is Rachel Harper. And she has written a very great book. You can buy it in any bookstore or Amazon or anywhere you wish. And it's called The Other
not written it.
Mother. And it's an excellent book. I've written it too. But I will be talking.
You read it.
Oh, I didn't write it?
You didn't write that book.
I didn't
No.
write that book. But I've read it. I didn't write it, but I read it. Yes, I did. So she will be my guest on the 12th, Saturday at 9 p.m. Okay, was that?
That's good.
Jill?
That's good.
Is there anything else I'm supposed to do that I'm forgetting I'm going to do? I'm going to announce, the music and all of that and thank everybody. So
No,
can I
you're
do
good.
that? I'm good?
You're good.
Okay. We will cue up some outro music. So, I Thank you for the applause. I appreciate it. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. So I just want to thank the creator of the music that's playing now. This is Choral, and it was created by 29 Beats. I also want to thank the creator of the music I played with the poem I did, and that one is called Star, and it was created by Star. No, this is wrong. I wrote that down wrong. It was created by Pyro. That's who created that song that was during my poem. So I also want to thank everyone in the audience. And that's because I know you don't have to come here to listen to this. Nobody wants to talk about the tough subjects of racism in this country, but it starts with us. So I commend all of you for being here, and I thank you, Sonia and Frankie J, and really Charlie that was here, and Debbie, I thank you too, and Tammy, which I love so much. She is my buddy, and I just want to pick on her all the time, but I'm doing good. I'm not doing it, Tammy, until you're ready to speak. Just request, and then we can do that. I also want to thank my lovely producer, Jill Cox Cordova, and I want to thank Fireside. And I want to tell you, as I do at every episode, I love you all. Really, I really do love you all. And until the next time, a week and a half from now, I'm gonna say bye.